Welcome to the Scale and Exit Show. I am your host, Judge Graham, and I am excited. You know, every week, I'm talking every week, I'm bringing fire, baby. And today is no different. I've got my new friend on, the DM, Mark Evans. Thanks for coming on, brother, the deal maker.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate you having me, man.
No, it's awesome, and the pleasure is all mine. So let me do a quick intro for those that are listening who does not familiar with Mark Evans. So markevansdm.com is his website. DM stands for the deal maker. And who is the DM? Mark Evans DM is a 9 times best-selling author. Think about that. The guy's written 9 books, all best-selling. And the author of the new book, 10-Minute Business Owner, which we're going to get into today. He's the creator of innovative, cutting-edge software. He's an expert in teaching business owners how to automate and scale their business, which is near and dear to my heart. And he coaches business owners around the world on how he runs 2 8-figure businesses with his 10-minute business owner strategy. Mark, did I miss anything?
No, man. Well, listen, besides being amazingly handsome, very, no, I'm joking. No,
I agree with that. And the hat, dude, I love the hat, right? It's a staple. So I wish you were with me last night because I know you're a cigar guy, right?
Yeah.
So have you had the Year of the Pig yet?
I have, yeah.
Oh, it's a great cigar. So we'll have to, next time we get together, have a good cigar.
I'm down, man. Let me know.
So, man, super successful guy. Great, background, great story. You want to just give everybody, just, 3 or 4 minutes. And, I think the intro I just read actually does you a disservice. I mean, you've accomplished so much more and do so much more for people in business and own multiple businesses. So just give us 3 minutes on your story so the audience can get to know you.
Yeah, no, man. First off, again, appreciate you having me out here. And, thank you to guys listening and gals. I started back in 1996, small town Ohio boy, hillbilly actually, closest neighbor, 20-acre kind of thing. Just wanted to wake up. My dream was to make $100,000 a year. I didn't know anybody made $100,000 a year. I was like, please, if I could just make 100, then you make 100. You're like, please, if I just make $1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
But I never read a book, barely graduated high school, never went to college. It just was not in my cards. Not knocking it. It is what it is. But I just realized that early on, I was always kind of an entrepreneur, if you will, shoveling snow, lawn care, anything to make a couple bucks and keep things rolling. But more importantly, I was always trying to figure out how to hire people to do it for me, and split it with them and keep half, and they go do the work and I can go expand. So I was at 12 years old. So I started down this path, and like I said, 96, had seamless gutter companies, gutters and all this stuff. And just kept meeting people that were in real estate. And I'm like, dude, this guy's smoking cigars, driving Porsches, paying me. How do I do this?
Yeah.
And everyone kept saying, real estate is it. I'm just doing real estate. So I went to an event, saw the guy do it, and I said, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it. I think a lot of times people, judges, they talk about doing it, they just don't do it.
All noise.
Oh, it's all noise. It's easy to talk.
Yeah.
Then what happened, I did really well. I was young. I was 18 years old. I was cocky. I was arrogant. I thought I knew everything. I kept reading and learning and knowledging up. But really, I didn't understand business. I understood making money, way different. And then there's another line in there about keeping money. So almost caused me bankruptcy, honestly. So I had a lot of rentals. I was collecting rent, not taking care of the properties. And that turned me into I got to start making more cash. So this is when I discovered cash flow is king, not just cash.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have $30,000 a month coming in, you could build a life in that. If you have $1 million that comes in, it goes away. You're done.
Yeah.
So it's how do you have both of the best worlds? So creating these different things and learning and growing and, self-reflecting, saying, hey, you don't know everything, hire people to help you. That's what I did. I'm a proponent of hiring people, masterminds, consultants, anything you can do to hack time to get to where I want to go. And now fast forward, I own multiple companies. I have many, many real estate transactions going on with a team here in Palm Beach, Florida. And then I have a pretty big media company with some amazing people. And then a lot of offshoots of all those businesses as well.
That's awesome. So Mark, I wanted for the audience listening, you said one of my favorite things. It's about time compression. Yeah. Right? I believe if you can figure out how to compress time, because if you think about this, Mark, you can't buy time. Mm-hmm. You can't create time. It really is probably in a business, the most valuable asset. how are you using that time? And the concept of not having scarcity and saying, listen, I'm going to stay in my lane and I'm going to continue to build. I'm a builder, and I'm not going to figure out how to do the craft necessarily. I'm going to outsource. I'm going to grow my business through hiring key skill sets, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is a couple of things here. One, I think people think they're going to live forever until they die, right? So you get really sick and you're like, oh crap, this is not life. You know, my life is about over. I don't know about you, and I'm sure you do this. I live with a sense of urgency.
Oh my God, yeah.
Very casual. It drives my wife nuts. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It drives my wife nuts because everything I do is urgent. Like, it's not like, oh my God, it's how I'm ticking.
Yes.
You know, I truly believe that I'm not going to live. I know I'm not going to live forever. It's the end for all of us eventually. But how much can I accomplish in the time I'm here? Not just for me, but for everything. I'm past that for me, like around the world, you know, for my wife, my kids, my grandkids, great-grand, like that wall, you know? So power of, compressing time or bending time.
Yeah.
You know, I hear entrepreneurs say, hey man, I get more done and by noon than most people do in a week. It's because we are working on things that are important, not things that are there to be there.
We're prioritizing and doing urgency. And so, Mark, what I love about urgency, right? And I know I mentioned, you know, I read a whole book on urgency pretty much, right? Scale with speed. But the idea of urgency, I talk to business owners all the time. If you don't put a date on something, it's not real. Okay? So an idea is shit until you can take it to a plan to execution that has a date.
Yeah.
And then what I try to do is take whatever that date is and cut it in half and move it back this way to create that urgency, right? Because what I found is urgency, people want purpose. People want a date. They want to know all these things. They like being, if you tell somebody they like being urgent, who doesn't want to be urgent, right? It creates creativity. It creates teamwork. It forces you to go, oh my God, we have to get this done. And you come together and you accomplish something. The other thing that urgency does, Mark, and I know you know this, is it allows you to sell value. And here I'm going to give you an example. So if, let's say, anybody out here that owns a web design company and they're selling websites, and let's say a typical website costs 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever it costs, right? And that's market. And typically it takes 2 to 3 months to build a website. It's always a pain in the ass, right? There's a process, you got content and all this. Well, the guy listening to this that can go, you know what? I'm going to compress that to 72 hours. I'm going to compress getting you your website from start to finish in 72 hours. Well, guess what? You can create premium because you've compressed time. You can sell it for more, and now you can also do more and make more money. So I love urgency. Anybody that doesn't want to be urgent to me is already lost.
Oh, I think they are lost. I think that's the problem. If they have a lot of shiny objects, you know, people are always like, hey, you know, shiny, I don't have time to have shiny objects. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not looking for things. I'm actually doing things.
Yeah.
So totally. I think, you know, when I was broke, I was always had shiny objects.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was looking for everything. I was telling my wife, you know, we were passing the Barnes and Noble, and I was like, man, I spent many hundreds, if not thousands of hours in there. If you remember those home-based business magazines, circling, cutting out, sending off to get rich over $40, you know,
right?
Searching, you know, trying to figure that out. But yeah, it's awesome, man.
So tell me about, so the audience knows. So I mean, anybody that's not following you again, markevansdm.com. But man, I love it. I love your swagger. I love the hat. I always see you rolling around in the rolls. Tell the companies that have context. You have multiple companies.
Yep. How
much real estate do you typically have in play?
Oh, I mean, the team's doing anywhere from 30, 40, 50, 60 deals a month, you know, buying and selling single.
And that's just wholesaling. That's just the real estate side.
Yeah, we're just buying and holding. I mean, we hold a portion of it. You know, there are cycles of all this stuff. But we're pretty big in the note business. I have a lot of private notes on property as well. I don't need to own a thing. I just want to make money off of them all. That's the key.
Yeah.
So just really understanding what we're really good at. You know, we've changed our product a couple times as we grow, because we grow and we change and we develop. Find out what we like and don't like. That's a progression, by the way. It's not failure. I don't see that as failure. You know, a lot of people get hung up, oh, I'm failing. It's like, dude, I'm failing forward every day.
Yeah.
So on the real estate side, yeah, we're growing that, man. I'm involved in a bunch of big apartment complex deals.
Awesome.
Yeah, kind of just a more of a passive. I like to be more passive, honestly, where I'm at in my life.
Yeah. So talk to us about, you got the new book, right? And it's all about the idea of 10 minutes, right?
10-minute business owner. Actually, it's kind of interesting. True story. When I wrote that book back a year ago, it came out in June. The book was a 10-minute business owner because I was, I do 10-minute calls with my team every day, 10 a.m. to 10:10, 10:10 to 10:20. And it's just more of a quick KPI call, key performance indicators, where are we at, what's going on. So as an owner, what was giving me anxiety? I'm sitting on the beach, drinking a beer, smoking a cigar. I'm like, oh my God, everything's collapsing. So the mindset around it, you're on an island, you have a global phone, you have 10 minutes. Who do you talk to? Again, urgency, compression. Again, creating constraints, because I traveled the world for 7 years with my wife. I created this massive constraint on purpose, and it's very uncomfortable and scary, by the way. So if you guys are going to do it, it's awesome. Everyone should travel. And then what happens is you have to get work done to go play. Yeah. So you're not like, oh, I'm just hanging out, sending an email. You just send an email, go, whatever. So I actually got kicked off all the calls. I'm not on the calls anymore at all. I only do 1.5 hour a week calls now. It's called an L10, through Traction, if you guys read that book. But it's just 1.5 hours. I'm listening, and I'm not even guiding it. My COOs or my implementers are, where are we at? What's going on? What do we need help with? And then I'll just chime in and kind of like a consultant, if you will, to my company. Yeah,
it's awesome, man. I think we're like kindred spirits. So any company I've ever ran, it's similar thing. I call it my 911 meetings. So every day at 9/11, right, I'd have executive team standing around a table or calling in wherever they were, and it was 10 minutes. Where are we? What's going on? What's the priority? Where are we pacing against the goal? What can we solve right now? Then they would disseminate. They would go meet with their teams and have the same 10-minute meeting, and then keeps, going down depending on how big the organization is. So by call it, 9:45, the entire freaking company, 300, 400, 500 people, whatever size at that time, is completely aligned and in rhythm to the 6 to 8 priorities, which I call money sheet, that are going to generate revenue that day. So, I mean, one, I'm going to buy the book right after. I should have had it before this. Sorry. I'm going to get the book. But, man, I love that philosophy. It feels like we're kindred spirits.
No, it's awesome, man. Again, I wrote the book kind of just through the journey of growth, right? I'm not smart enough to know what we're talking about unless I do it. I actually have live feedback. So, yeah, man, that's awesome. I love it.
So talk about, you posted something yesterday or maybe even today on Facebook.
Okay.
Saying, look, my ads are killing it on Facebook. Now, I know you're not doing the ads, right? Because you're outsourcing that. But a lot of people are like, man, I can't make any money on Facebook. Facebook ads are too expensive. They don't work. What strategy are you doing on Facebook right now?
Well, I mean, it's lead gen for me. So I think the reason a lot of times Facebook ad doesn't work for people, there's a bunch of reasons. One, they don't know what they're doing. Two, they're trying to do it themselves. 3, they don't have a good product. There's a bunch of reasons it doesn't. There's a lot of ways to hack Facebook by take your customer list, tag them in there, build audiences around them, and really just get better at quality content. One thing about all advertising, not just Facebook, is you have to get smarter. You have to get more knowledgeable about talking to the people that want to hear your message. And it's never been easier, actually, to find these people in these groups and these relationship conversations that you can start having. So for me, all this marketing is really just to drive leads and let us make a call, have a conversation, and close deals.
Yeah, and you mentioned something that's so important, right? I think the art of the phone is starting to become lost. Like, so DM, when I go into a company, so I have another saying, you're going to love this one. WIMM, where is my money? Okay, WIMM. And I put that on everybody's phones that are in sales. Because people forget that device, whatever that device looks like, is what's going to make you money, right? Because people aren't just going to shell out $1,000 plus, even $200. Like people can just watch a video and do a product. They need that interaction. And so I love what you said. It was lead gen to get qualified prospect, and then it's phone time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of ways to hack that too, right? Like my goal as a leader is to drive them into a funnel or into a framework or web, whatever you want to call it, and build trust, rapport, relationship prior to communication.
Yeah.
So now it's almost they get on the phone like, oh my gosh, Judge, I can't believe I'm talking to you. That's what we work hard for.
Yes.
That's how we actually, all the gates are down. Now our job is to serve, listen, diagnose, see where they're at, where they want to go, and see if we're a good fit. I'm not there to sell them. I'm there to help them.
So 2 things you just said that I believe are core attributes to anybody that's successful. Obviously, you're extremely successful. You said listen and you said serve. So many people don't listen. I talk all the time about if you're seeking counsel, especially if it's a skill that you don't understand, or you're listening to a mentor, shut up and listen. Absorb it. There's a reason they're sitting there and you're sitting here, whatever that reason is, you need to listen. And also in sales, you got to listen. The customer will tell you what they want, when they want it, and how they want it if you just shut up, right? So listening is key. And then the other thing you said is serve, right? I think if you don't have a purpose or a passion of wanting to genuinely, 1, believe in whatever your service or product is, and 2, have swimming in the Kool-Aid that it actually will help serve them, then you're probably going to lose. So you got to listen and you got to serve. I love that you brought that out.
Yeah, no, man. I think it's something I learned back in the day. It's like I see so many people marketing, trying to sell. What if you market to give value and then extract and then sell?
Yeah,
it's actually order taking. It's a way different game. So it's always funny. I always mess with my sales team, like, you guys aren't real salespeople. You're order takers, but I like that. So I mess with them a little bit, but it's all in good fun. But like you said, the best way is like in our real estate company is way different than our media company. In real estate, it's one-offs. You're going to buy a property and probably buy 1 or 2, maybe max. But in the media, it's B2B. It's always they're buying constantly. The more traffic they buy, they're going to buy more next month, et cetera. So it's really servicing the client as well.
So talk to me about your media company. What media are you selling?
Yeah, email marketing media. So big financial companies are going to come to me and say, hey, here's what I have. Here's what I'm getting in front of. I'm going to pay this much money. What's my best platform to do that? And we're going to drive a lot of eyeballs to their offers and to their pages and wherever they're driving eyeballs to.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. And it is primarily a B2B product?
Yeah. Well, no, B2C. So we have the consumers, and what we're going to do is we're constantly feeding content. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, by the way, check out my boy Judge. Here's what he's up to, X, Y, and Z. And then they're going to allow you to like just click on the links and go from there. Yeah.
I love that. So what's some advice, you mentioned earlier, fail forward, which I love. And this is concept, the greatest, Oprah, Jordan, whoever, they openly admit, listen, I failed more than I've won. And the reality is, I believe success is impossible without failure. And until you're willing to accept, you've got to fail. And I love this, fail forward idea. Until you can break that mindset of that it's not okay to fail, you're never going to win.
Well, I think the real question comes down to what the hell is failure?
Oh, great. Yeah.
Like, what does it look like? Because to me, you and I bet you failure looks very similar.
Yeah.
Each person, they misspell a word that they're failures.
Right.
Oh my God, I knew I should have proofread that for the 18th time before I pushed it in. To me, it's like, shit, just get it out. Let's go.
Yeah.
I see that as progress, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, oftentimes my real failures, whatever that is, me about to go bankrupt. I never did. I almost went bankrupt twice. I never did. Not saying it's good or bad. I just didn't do it. Maybe I should have, right? So who knows? I almost did it where I think setbacks are opportunities for setups.
Yeah.
I learned so much about myself. I had to dig deeper. I had to open my eyes up. I don't know everything, right? I had to ask for help, which is, I think a lot of people don't ask for help. I think
you bring that up. So one, I did. So I am in the club of going personally bankrupt, right? My first business. And that failure, DM, is in that place that I was at, never again, right? I mean, but that failure was needed. Right? It was a part of it. And the other thing I think entrepreneurs fail, often on is really committing, right? And I talk about, dude, you got to freaking burn the ship, baby. You're on the island. I want you to turn around, gas that boat up, take the cigar, flick it, burn the ship. Because until you get that committed, the only way you're getting off is you got to swim and the shark's probably going to kill you. You're not going to win because you're not committed.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, dude, I've never had a real job in my entire life. Truth. If I don't kill it, I don't eat. You know? Some people are like, oh my God, that's scary. I actually think it's the opposite.
More scary having a job.
Yeah. Where literally someone could pull the plug and you're done, and then you have no skills except that job. And where do you go? How do you do it? What connections have you made for the last 12 years that you haven't been able to get out and network and meet people?
Right.
Dude, I can make money on demand. You could, I can't. It's just what we can do.
Right.
Because we have the skill set. So to me, the failures are people not failing at whatever they think failure is to them. Because if you don't, we would not be here without failures. And again, I don't even look at it as failures. I'm like, shit, I learned a lot from that. Don't do that again. That doesn't feel good.
So DM, did you play sports in high school?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What'd you play?
Football.
Okay. Did you play college or not?
No, I never went to college. Yeah.
But would you say, at least for me, the experience that I learned through sports, failing, what it takes to win, teamwork, all of that, to me is as valuable or more valuable than even school.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely, for sure.
You know, I mean, and you know what's crazy about school, and I think we're seeing this movement of, you know, online continuing education, whether it's Grant or you or me or Ty Lopez or whoever, it's the shit you really need to know in the real world isn't being taught at university.
No.
Right? I mean, like, you know, how to pitch, how to handle objections, right? How to deal with failure, you know, all the things.
How to balance a checkbook.
How to have cash flow, right? This is my second book, Mastering Recurring Revenue, right?
I like it.
You know, what's important about having that cash flow, that recurring revenue, that kind of shit isn't taught in school, you know? So you're seeing this movement of successful entrepreneurs saying, listen, this is the new form of education. You want to come play in this marketplace that's 24/7 and global, it's going to freaking eat you up if you don't understand these things.
Sure. Yeah, man, listen, I think school is an old model. We know that. It's not a secret. If you think it's a secret, you're probably in the model that we want. You know, school's great for doctors and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
I do. But you know, I meet people and they're like, oh, I'm in college. I'm like, what for? They're like, entrepreneurship. And I'm like, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
That's not how entrepreneurship works. But, you know, there's a lot of lessons to learn inside of that. I think probably the biggest lessons you'll get if you do go to college are going to be the parties, the you know, the failures, the good stuff.
No, I think college is a great experience. I went to college. It was amazing. It was a great, I liked it so much I stayed 5 years. Right? So but you know, you build friendships, you build network, you do learn things, right? I mean, so, you know, I see value in it, but I mean, if you're willing to spend that amount of time of your life, you know, for that, then I think you should do it. But if you're more interested in just getting after it, I would say skip it.
Yeah, man, listen, everyone's got their own path, right? I think it's, I definitely think I had an advantage not going to college. I had 4 extra years ahead of them.
Yeah, totally.
Buying time, can't buy time. You know, so the failure thing is big. Also, Judge, I think another thing is I always talk to people. I always ask people one question, and very few people can ever answer it, if any. It's like, what in the hell do you really want? People really know, because they hear you, they hear me, they hear other people. They're like, I want that, I want that, I want that. It's like, do you really? Because if you do the things we're talking about, and you know, it's a different game. So a lot of times people just don't know what the hell they want. Therefore, they're confused, overwhelmed, frustrated, you create procrastination effect. Like it's a big problem. So these are that's a big thing. And that goes back to your point about focus.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, so many people, and it's part of, you know, so the DMs, my book, Scale with Speed, speed's a formula, right? And the S is start with your end game. What the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
Why do you want it? And when do you want it?
Yep.
Right. And once you put that down, you know, people have these ideas, right? I want to own an island one day. I want a $100 million yacht. But when you really start to put that on paper and then say, okay, in order to do that, there's only a few paths, right? And a bunch of effort to get there and a lot of risk, all of a sudden expectations may change, right? I mean, something's got to change, but I think you're right. I mean, I use the analogy of people, they just get on this hamster wheel, right? And I think directionally they think they know what they want, but they've never taken the time to go, this is what I want. And then again, what's really important, the date. When do I want it, right? Because saying that you want to travel the world with your family, it someday will never come.
Yeah,
when do you want that? So I think that's key, man. I mean, so many people it's like they're in a boat and they just drift through life. And then, like you said, you're out of time and you're like, what happened?
Yeah, man, it's my biggest fear, man, dying with all this stuff inside of me. It's my biggest fear in life. It drives me. It gets me up at 4 a.m. every morning. I go to bed early when most people are hanging out and playing around. Yesterday I was playing around a little bit, but you can do it once in a while. We deserve it once in a while. But to me, it's like, and the truth is, I think if you have a child, I think you have an advantage too. And a lot of people use the child as an excuse. Like, I don't want to ruin their life. I don't want to do this. It's like, dude, you have a child. It's your it's not your duty. It's your obligation.
Amen.
What is possible in this world that we live in?
Yeah.
By the way, they don't build these yachts and these cars, these massive things. They build them for somebody. Why not me?
Yeah. Amen.
But again, your point to your point as well. It's like, just because you want it, when do you want it? Maybe it's not as urgent today. I don't need the $100 million yacht today. But if I bite this off, taking the bite of elephants one at a time, right? Eat the elephant one at a time, one bite. How do we maybe 20 years from now, I don't want it today. I don't need it. I don't even travel that much as like I used to. Maybe in 10 or 12 years I do.
Yeah.
I'm working on the jet plan, the timeline. When do I want it? How much does it cost? What's it look like? Really start thinking about it.
So do you want a jet?
Yeah, I'm going down a jet. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I love that. I've got it. I'm sure you do, but I got a couple guys that sell them. So we could talk offline if you need to hook up there.
No, I appreciate it.
So you have kids?
One boy and one on the way here in a couple months.
Congrats, man. I missed the first. How old's your current kid?
He's 3.5.
3.5. Yeah, great ages. So you got an active household.
I love it. I love it, man. Super blessed to be able to hang out with him whenever I want, do cool things. Again, like I said, if you have a child and knowing our world exists, I was driving up to the office, had an event up there a couple of days ago, and I'm driving. I'm like, dude, these are people's lives. Like, they're missing their kids. I was missing my son. That was my one day out of the year. And it's like, how cool is it to wake up to kiss him and sit there and let him eat Rice Krispies and watch cartoons and talk to him. And, some people don't get to experience that except on the weekends, unfortunately. Yeah.
So, Dan, talk about, you said, and I bet our schedules are pretty similar because most successful entrepreneurs, keep similar behaviors, right, and schedules. So you said you get up at 4?
4:44 every morning almost.
4:44. So just walk everybody through what a typical day looks like for you.
Yeah, man. I get up 4:44, get up, do my thing, kind of mindset, stretching. I'm doing stretching for like 20, 30 minutes.
Awesome.
Do not look at your phone for the first 30 minutes. Ideally, you don't ever do that. It can screw your day up. I did it once in a while, and I'm like, start feeling more anxious for no reason.
Yeah, totally.
So just kind of stretching, relaxing, thinking, meditating, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm usually at the gym by 6 at the latest. I have a trainer. I work out at 6 usually. This, by the way, is 7 days a week. I don't do this 5 days a week. I'm very on that schedule. And then boom, get back, clean up, get some emails out, do the higher priority pieces. Like I said, I'm not on the daily calls anymore, so I might check some data. Obviously data, not drama. Hang out. I don't, by 10 o'clock in the morning, man, honestly, I'm already smoking a cigar maybe. I don't smoke cigars every day, by the way, if my insurance company's watching this. Everyone thinks I do because I'm always in a video smoking a cigar, but I'm like, so, just hang out. I don't go a lot of places, man. Honestly, I have a pretty cool area where we live.
Yeah.
Go to the cafe or the club and have lunch, meet somebody. Have a lot of phone calls. I like to be on the phone. Like you said earlier, this is our sword as an entrepreneur, or business owner. Phone's our sword, so getting on the calls, having conversations, talking to high-level team members. I have a small mastermind group, so I talk to a lot of those guys daily because I want to, and there's some cool stuff we're doing. Talk to my joint venture guys. I have some JV stuff with on deal making on the side of things. By 2, 3 o'clock, man, I'm kind of idling down. I know some people like to work 18 hours a day or 12 hours a day. I'm kind of more, how much can I accomplish? And again, the constraint factor of 8 to 10.
Press time.
Yeah, and I do not mind working. My problem is I love working.
I do, yeah. So my wife and I, it's tough. I love, I don't have any hobbies.
Yeah.
I want to have some hobbies, but I freaking love business. I love it. You
Yeah,
know, it's just,
our hobby is our business, though, right? I would almost say our hobby. I'm the same way, man. I'm not a big sports fan. I don't do all this stuff. My hobby is tinkering on the business. I got my buddy here from Wisconsin. We're tinkering on a strategy. We're going to drive this revenue. We're going to do that. Like, it's
right.
fun. It's like, it is.
Oh, dude, I love it. Yeah, it's amazing, man. So one thing you said here out the audience, and I love. I may steal it from you or borrow it from you. Data, not drama.
Yeah.
You know, how often, you know, when you look in businesses, especially the bigger you get, I would say if it's not structured and aligned and in rhythm, they're spending 50, 60, 70% of their day on drama bullshit.
All day, yep.
All day, every day, right? They lose sight of the priorities. They create these fiefdoms. They have political, you know, toxicity is all happening, and it's all drama-based. It's not data-based. So I love that. It's like, hey, listen, what are the facts? What's the data saying? Let's make a decision. Let's be urgent. Let's move on, and let's remove drama, right? Because when you remove drama, you compress time. When you compress time, you make more money. When you make more money, you have more time. Right?
Exactly. And drama to you and I is different, right? Like, and not what's cool about this too is if this is a core value in your company, it keeps the company very dialed in. They come to you, Judge, well, you know, this is going on. Data, not drama. Like, you can be direct. Now
I love it.
Now you're not the dick, right? Now you're not being short with them. You're not listening to them. You're not hearing them. It's like, dude, I don't come to you with my drama. I come to you with data. And if they say, hey, I need to make more money, great. What's your data? Where are you at? Where are you going? How do we get there? What do you like? It's not like, well, you don't understand. I need more money here. No, that's not how it works. Give me the data. Let's look at the data points. Maybe you need to get better at closing. Maybe you need to get better. Like, then it's factual. It's all factual. It's not emotional, which is a game changer for, like you said, compression of time.
What you just said, I love is, and again, back to us being kindred spirits. I think every company to be successful, you have to have 4 core values. Okay. So in the SPEED formula, the last E is energize your culture. And part of that is core values. Core values can't be just some bullshit 4 words you put on a wall. Right. They have to be behaviors, mindsets, and giving your people the ability to be empowered.
Yep.
Right? Like you just said, hey, dude, one of our core values is no drama. Like, why are you bringing me this? Where's the data, right? In empowering, what does having no drama mean for the client? What does it mean for our team internally? What's it mean for the company? What's it mean for that individual? I mean, having those core values that are really actions and behaviors and empowering your team to do that is huge.
It is huge, and we take for granted that we think everyone functions at that level. But as we know, most people are drama-filled because it makes them excited. You know, the truth is yesterday, we actually got rid of a person. She's been with us 4 years. That she's changed. She's starting to become a victimitis. Yeah. And everything's on, even though she's doing better than she ever has financially, every month is growing, but just her mindset is really warped. And as a business owner, right, we're thinking, do I let them go, or how does this work? Because they're making the company a lot of money. Yeah. Again, culturally, you let that creep in, it will ruin it. It's going to take down the company. Yeah. So Theo, one of the implementers, sit down with her and said, hey, X, Y, and Z, I need to know by 5. You're on board or off board. We're cool either way, but there's a decision to be made. Yeah. And then again, well, you gave me an ultimatum, so therefore, again, victim. And again, she was nice about, you know, the departure and is awesome. But like, I care about my people so much. I know you do. Yeah. Like, I literally lay in bed thinking about how can I help them more, not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, structurally. I'll give them anything I have. They have access. They come stay at my house. I don't care. I don't care who you are on my team. We're in it. You're me. You're a piece of me. Like, let's take this to the next level. You know, so it's powerful, man.
No, it is. I mean, it's key, the culture, and you know, you've created it, and companies. I mean, I can walk into any company, and what entrepreneurs have that what I call money guys don't have are the intangibles. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, I can walk in. I don't care what company it is, and I'm within seconds. Is it profitable? Is it making money? What's the culture? Like, I just get it, dude, right? And culture is all about, man, when you have that culture and you have urgency, you create that momentum, it becomes magical, man. I mean, because you quit talking about bullshit and you're talking about progress. Where's my money? How are we moving? What are we being innovated? I mean, the conversations are so different. It's just, so from anybody out there that's struggling, and it's just frustrated and you're having the same conversation over and over again, change the people or change the culture or change both. But I promise it's better, right, when it's good.
Yeah. Well, it functions effortlessly. It's almost magical. Like, how the hell are you able to do so much so easy? It's like, number one, I feel like I never do enough ever.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just getting started every day.
Yeah.
Like, you're so successful. I'm like, dude, I'm just getting started. Like, I don't know any other way. I don't even see it as success. I see it as just another moment in time. And again, success. What does success look like? It's all relative. All this stuff's relative.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, man, I love it. I love it. I do the same thing. I'm not even joking. There's a car wash guy down the street from us where I live. I like clean cars. It's a pet peeve of mine. And I was there, and he's such a nice guy. He's always there, and it drives me nuts. I'm like, dude, you don't own a business. He's had it for 26 years. And instantly I walk in, where they place the person to cash you out, how the shelves look. And I'm like, dude, I was like, hey, man, I need to talk to you. I was like, I know things aren't looking good over here. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, it's very crystal clear to me. I get it. And I'm not saying it to be a dick either.
Yeah.
I'll come in and help you for free. Just how can I help you? You got to move this lady here. Here's why. She needs to say this. All that stuff matters as an owner.
Huge. Well, yeah, environment matters. How the people answer the phone matters. What I find is typically entrepreneurs, they start a company, and the reason it's great is because of that entrepreneur. Yep. Then they start seeing success and they scale, and then they hire, and they're not properly training or building the right culture, and all of a sudden they're winning business, and they've got an attrition issue. Mm-hmm. They've got a customer service issue. Right? Because the expectation isn't there, baby. Right? Like your people are screwing things up, and you're not tending the mill, right? I mean, you're not there teaching them, coaching them, training them, implementing the right culture. So yeah, man, it keeps you guys like you and I busy though. I like it.
Yeah, man. Listen, I think too, like as an entrepreneur, if you're in the company so deep, it's really hard to step back and have this conversation. Another thing too is being real with yourself. There's two things on this. So one, like I'm sure you're good at this, like introspect, I call bullshit on my own bullshit.
Yes.
I don't want yes people around me. I want to grow. I don't see it as a bad thing. If I hit you up and say, hey Judge, shit you're doing over there, I don't like it. Here's what I'm thinking. Not that I don't like it. I don't think it matches your brand or what you're trying to do. And based off of our car, so it's coming from a place of, goodwill, not to hurt you or break you down. But more importantly, I'm not just going to come with that drama. I'm going to come with data to back it up and show you.
Yeah.
Give you a
solution. Yeah, totally.
Solution driven. And then also, a lot of times as an entrepreneur in the beginning, you're trying to do everything yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, again, temporarily. But what gets you to where you're at is not going to get you where you want to go. So Dan Solomon, the good guy, he actually always talks about go find the who to do the how. Like sometimes we think we have to know how to do everything. I don't know how to create P&Ls. But I know who does. I don't know how to create technology, but I know who does. I don't need to know how to send. So
the who and how. I love that.
If not, you have a full-time job working for a maniac yourself, and you're never going to be as successful as you can. So I always look at people. Honestly, everyone I meet, I see them as an opportunity.
Yeah.
How can I hire them? What's their skill set? What do they do? When people tell me it's hard to get a job, I'm like, you're just not providing value to the world then. It's not hard to get a job.
Yeah. No.
Our problem is finding good people. People, right?
Yeah, totally. No, it really is.
Quality people.
So DM, for the people out here, entrepreneur, managing teams, just listening, what would that one piece of advice be for them on, how do they get unstuck?
Yeah. Tap out.
Yeah.
Let go. You got to tap out. You got to say, hey man, listen, I know I don't know everything. Hire someone like you, get involved, let them understand hey, this is what it looks like. This is how it can be. Another thing is just meeting someone or listening to shows like this, stepping back and saying, I see myself being them. I know that's real because I trust and believe them. So you got to just tap out and admit you don't know everything. If you did, why the hell are you where you're at?
Yeah.
Real simple. Dude, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Right.
So that's the first step of any recovery. You got to admit.
It is. And there's always another level too, right? No matter where you're at, there's always another level, right? So I think the lesson there is you're constantly tapping out, right? I mean, and getting better, right? It's kind of like a phoenix, right? Always coming out of the flames and rising up. Well, Dia, man, this has been awesome. So glad to finally connect with you. We got to get in person. I think it'd be fun, man. Maybe do a mastermind or something together. That could be fire. Would love that. So we've got markevansdm.com. What are your social handles?
Yeah, same thing. Mark Evans DM across the board. Instagram definitely is big for us. And Facebook as well. But Instagram, I do a lot of daily stories over there, so a lot of opportunity.
Okay. So the leads you're generating online or for what? Or is there anybody? So right now, somebody wants to work with you. What capacity is that?
Yeah, no, I mean, for the real estate side specifically, if you have some money sitting on the sidelines and you're in the Columbus, Ohio or Cleveland, Ohio marketplace and you're looking to buy good deals, those are great leads for us. You could ping me. I'll hook you up with the right person on the team that's leading that pack. I'd love to talk to you and see where you're at, how much money you have, where you're at, and try to create cash flow. Again, your book is awesome.
Yeah.
When's that come out? That's coming out soon, no?
It's a Mastering Recurring Revenue. I've got like 1,000 copies here at the house. I'll send you. Did I send you this?
No.
Okay, I'll send you this. DM me your address, and I'll get you that. I'm going to buy your book, but it comes out this month on Amazon. You can pre-order it right now. But
I pre-ordered actually one of them.
Yeah, I think you pre-ordered Scale with Speed.
Yeah, did I? Okay, well, I think I ordered all your books, but take me off the chopped liver list.
Yeah. I will, man. And I'm going to get your Tim Bennett book. I can't wait to read that one.
Send me your address too. I got one in the back there. I'll send it out to you.
Okay, well, dude, no, you bought my book. I'm going to buy it. Is it on Amazon?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll get it. So social, if you got any deals in the Columbus, Cleveland area, reach out to you.
If you're looking to buy or sell, buy or sell anything, apartment complexes, single family, strip malls, etc. Ping me. Like I said, with the right division and the person running that piece and make the interaction happen, and we'll close some deals.
What about any masterminds? Are those all closed, or are you doing any bigger ones? Or
yeah, honestly, I have the DM family right now. We're really not accepting anybody. It's kind of smaller, very intimate. 27 people, I think, is in that group. 28.
Okay, cool.
To me, it's not a good model because I work harder than anything in that business.
Yeah.
This is the least amount of money per, but fulfilling internally, it's amazing. Really.
Yeah, totally.
But I have the thing where we're doing the marketing piece for investors, showing them how to scale marketing at a mass level. I think, again, the data to drive rev.
Yeah. So who would be anybody listening to that, who's an ideal client for that?
Again, if you're in the real estate investing space, looking to scale your business, you're getting beat up, you don't have enough lead. If you don't have enough leads, you need to be there. Like we're going through breakdown, very affordable. I think it's like $3,000 a ticket. Very intimate, 20 people or so in the room.
Okay.
We'd love to help you guys. We love it. My COO actually runs that whole show. He's
cool.
Day to day.
Awesome. Well, DM, man, I appreciate it. I will get the book. For those that aren't following me, I'm assuming you're following because you're watching this. I'm pretty much everything at Judge Graham. Facebook is at Judge Graham Business. DM, it was amazing. And as always, make it happen, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, guys.
Oh.